and welcome back to Dirt Bike Magazine's video series, The 20s, where we take you up close and personal with all the 2020 motocross models. And today we get our first chance to ride the 2020 KTM 250 SXF. Now last year this bike got a complete overhaul with a new chassis, new engine, basically new from the ground up. This year not so much. Styling is pretty close to the same, maybe some minor changes, but it did get some changes. It got some changes in the suspension department where it's now what we call the WP Exact suspension. The fork is still an air fork, the shock still the same shock, but now KTM is marketing a little bit different. Rear shock does have some updates and another compression adjuster, where in the front there's updates with new pistons and new settings. What they're trying to do is get a plusher feel overall. And like I said, there was other minor changes throughout the bike. If you want to know what those are, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com. For everybody on YouTube, just click the link in the description. It'll take you right to all of the new stuff on the 2020 KTM 250 SXF. That's enough talking. We're gonna go ride this thing. So we just got done with our first day of testing here. We had multiple test riders out riding the bike. The guy you'll see in the video is RJ Wageman, top level pro guy, local pro, and then does some nationals and supercross. So a couple things that jumped out at us right away. We did test we have different airbox covers. There's one with holes in it and one without holes in it. The one with holes in it naturally lets the bike breathe a lot better. You get a little bit more ride off bottom than you do with the closed one. So we're gonna leave the open one on for basically our testing from here on out. The bike does seem to come off bottom a little soft compared to some of the other 250s, and even compared to this bike last year, it felt like it had a little bit more right off bottom. The number 1 map, most of the test riders like that today. The number 2 map works really well on a wide open track like Glen Helen. You can rev the motor out. We did notice in the number 2 map that it gives you a little bit of false hope, like there's gonna be some bottom end, and then it just kind of it drops off and kind of rides like a little roller coaster until you build those RPMs back up. We're not sure if that's what KTM intended with that map. It does make it a little bit harder to ride and to keep up in the R's. Suspension wise, we like the direction they went with the front fork. It just moves a little bit too much for some of our test riders' likings, but it does get past that harshness we felt in previous models and gives it more of a plush feel up front. It just moves a lot, and it's something you definitely have to get used to with the bike transitioning from forward to back. Overall, the KTM 250 SXF is a mid to top range motor. If you like last year's model, all they really did was make refinements to it, making it a little bit more rider friendly in the suspension department. The motor still likes to be revved. This is a mid to top end power range. That's where the bike makes most of its power. The number 1 and the number 2 map, there are noticeable differences, but the bike still likes to be ridden in the mid-range and top end of the power curve. Naturally, other stuff that we do like about the bike, the adjustability, the hydraulic clutch, the brakes are strong. So we plan on putting a lot more time on this motorcycle. It's our first day of testing, and we're getting all the other 250Fs here really soon. So we're gonna throw it into the ring with all the other manufacturers' bikes and see where it comes out. It usually does pretty good in shootouts. Will 2020 be the same? Only time will tell. Gotta remind you guys to click that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything that we're doing and to get an alert when we release a brand new video. And as always, head over to dirtbikemagazine.com for the latest off-road and moto industry news.